Hello everyone, welcome to SJ Learnex channel. In today's video, we are going to understand section 10 of the Indian Evidence Act, which deals with conspiracy evidence. This is very important topic, especially in cases involving multiple accused persons. Section 10 talks about the relevancy of acts and statements of the co-conspirators. It applies when two or more persons agree to commit an illegal act or legal act by illegal means. The most important element here is the agreement between them. Conspiracy is usually done secretly. People who plan illegal acts do not announce their plans openly. Because of this secrecy, direct evidence is rarely available. Therefore, Section 10 allows the court to consider acts and statements made by one conspirator against the others, proved certain conditions are satisfied. However, this section does not apply automatically. The court must first find reasonable ground to believe that a conspiracy exists. Only then can acts and statements of the conspirator be used against the others. For example, if A, B, and C plans a robbery together and A sends a message to B about the plan, that message can be used as evidence against both B and C if conspiracy is established. Now let us see the meaning of conspiracy. A conspiracy is basically an agreement between two or more persons to commit an illegal act or to commit a legal act by illegal means. The most important word here is an agreement. The crime of conspiracy is complete as soon as the agreement is made. It is not necessary that the illegal act must actually be committed. Even if the plan fails, the offense of conspiracy may still exist, but the agreement itself is punishable. For example, if two persons secretly agree to counterfeit currency, even if they are caught before printing fake notes, the conspiracy is already complete because the agreement was formed. Now remember, conspiracies are usually secret in nature. People planning illegal acts do not create written contracts. Therefore, courts rarely get direct proof of an agreement. Instead, they rely on surrounding circumstances, conduct communication, and coordinated actions to the interfere of the existence of an agreement. So the key understanding in this is conspiracy is not about the act, it is about the agreement to commit the act. Now let us see a very important point. When does section 10 actually apply? The section 10 does not apply automatically just because multiple persons are accused in a case. The court must find prima facie evidence, that means reasonable ground to believe that a conspiracy existed. In simple words, before using statements of one person against another, the court must be satisfied that there was indeed an agreement between them to commit an illegal act. Once the court finds reasonable ground that a conspiracy existed, then any act or statement made by any one of the conspirators in reference to the common design becomes relevant against all the conspirators. But this rule has limits. If a statement is made after the conspiracy has ended, then section 10 does not apply. The statement must be made during the existence of the conspiracy and in connection with the common plan. For example, if during the planning stage A sends a message to B explaining the robbery plan, that message becomes relevant against both A and B, provided the court first believes the conspiracy existed. So remember this important sequence here. First thing, court must find prima facie conspiracy. Then acts and statements in reference to common design becomes admissible. Without proving conspiracy first, section 10 cannot be used. Acts and statements in furtherance of common design. Now we must understand an extremely important limitation under section 10. Not every act or statement made by a conspirator is admissible. Only those acts and statements which are made in furtherance of the common design are admissible. This means the act or statement must help advance, execute, or support the conspiracy. It must be connected with the common plan. If it is unrelated or casual, it will not fall under section 10. For example, if conspirators are planning a robbery and one of them purchase weapons for that purpose, that act is clearly in furtherance of the conspiracy. Similarly, if one conspirator informs another about the timing or location of the crime, the statements become relevant. But suppose during a casual conversation, one conspirator talks about his personal family matters. That statement has nothing to do with the conspiracy. Therefore, it is not admissible under section 10. So the key test is this: was the act or statement made to advance the common objective? If yes, it becomes relevant. If not, it cannot be used against others. The limitation protects fairness in trial and prevents misuse of conspiracy evidence. Now let us understand another very important concept, that is the duration of conspiracy. Conspiracy begins from the moment that agreement is formed between two or more persons. From that point onwards, all acts and statements made in reference to the common design become relevant under section 10. In conspiracy continues as long as the common objective is being pursued. It may continue until the illegal act is completed or until the conspirators abandon the plan. This means any act or statement made during this period, from the formation of an agreement until the completion of or abandonment, can be used as evidence against all conspirators. However, once the conspiracy ends, Section 10 no longer applies. Statements made after arrest or after the common objective has been achieved cannot be used against co conspirators under Section 10. For example, if A and B commits a robbery together, the conspiracy continues until the robbery is completed and they escape. But if A is later arrested and makes a confession, that the confession cannot automatically be used against B under section 10. Now let us understand why section 10 is so important in criminal law under the Evidence Act. In many serious crimes such as terrorism, organized crime, large financial frauds, or gang activities, multiple persons are involved. These crimes are rarely committed by one person alone. They are planned secretly and executed collectively. In such situations, it is very difficult to prove the exact role of each person through direct evidence. Section 10 helps the prosecution to connect all the accused persons through a common plan or design. It allows the court to consider acts and statements of one conspirator against all others, provided conspiracy is first established. However, courts apply Section 10 carefully and cautiously. The court must first be satisfied that there is a reasonable ground to believe that conspiracy existed. Only then can this section be used. For example, in a bank fraud involving multiple persons, if emails were exchanged during the planning stage of the fraud, those emails may become relevant against all conspirators, but emails unrelated to the plan cannot be used. So, the final understanding of section 10 is this: the strengthens cases explain involving multiple accused. It connects a different persons through common intention, but it must be applied carefully to ensure fairness. To conclude this session, we clearly understood how Section 10 of the Indian Evidence Act makes acts and statements of co-conspirators relevant provided a conspiracy is first established. In the next video, we will move to another important topic under the Evidence Act and continue building our conceptual clarity. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep learning with SJ Learnix.